Always a pleasure to be in the company of my dear friend, Vanessa Gibson. Thank you for your words. My name is State Senator Jose M. Serrano. I have the good fortune of representing the South Bronx and East Harlem in the Senate, and I've been in office for the last 23 years in many ways because of wonderful Ms. McKay. I'll take you back a little bit. The year is 1974. My dad, then an aspiring community activist at that time, post-Watergate reformer, trying to find ways to bring reform, civic reform and political reform to the South Bronx. At that time, we as Puerto Ricans and at the African American community as well, didn't have the level of representation that we have now. And there was still a fight to be able to obtain that proper representation for the betterment of the community. So my dad was running for the state assembly, and he was knocking on doors in Patterson houses, and up until that moment, as I recall him explaining it to me later on, I was only 2 years old at the time, he was saying he didn't really feel like he was getting a lot of traction. Like it just didn't seem like, he was trying his best, but people were sort of skeptical of elected officials or people wanting to be elected officials, aspiring to do so. But then he said the best thing in the world that could have ever happened to him happened. He knocked on a certain door. And if you knock on the right door, your life changes. Amen. And who was behind that door? Miss Nellie McKay. She welcomed inside, had a lot of questions for him, wanted to know why he wanted to represent. Why, young man, do you want to do this? What are your criteria? What's your background? What are your qualifications? And once she accepted his answers and understood that he was doing this for the right reasons, she made sure to let her neighbors know. And she had a little get-together in her apartment in the living room and invited neighbors over. And Dad said that was the turning point. That's what gave him the opportunity to represent the state assembly and then later on in Congress. And he retired in 2020 after 46 years in public office. And he would be here today, but he's dealing with Parkinson's disease. He recently had some health issues, and he's at a acute rehabilitation center on the Grand Concourse trying to regain some strength. But when I told him that I was going to be here tonight, he said, make sure you remind them that I always called her my queen, that Miss McKay was his queen, because of how she took him under her wing, and through her mentorship, righteousness, gave him an understanding of what this community needed in ways that he could have never imagined. And when you consider that, his focus throughout his 46 years was ethics reform, and I'm looking at you, Cheryl Simmons Oliver, who know very well how Dad was so fastidious about doing things in a certain way, not just doing the right thing, but doing it in a way that inspired confidence. This is really the example that she gave all of us. So 23 years ago, when I ran for the city council, I had the good fortune of having the support of Ms. McKay. And by this point, she was a seasoned leader in the community, and she was someone who had seen everything. And to be able to sit by her side and listen to her, and not just about politics, we probably spoke the least about anything political. It was about home remedies for my cough that wouldn't go away, and how I should make asparagus soup and drink that regularly and see what that does for me, and garlic, and all of these different things, and a really innovative way of making canned salmon look amazing in a Jello mold that looked like a fish. And we had so much fun over food and natural remedies and discussion about these things that it was just, that's what I remember the most. I remember the fact that she cared enough about me to talk to me about things to make me healthier is the most selfless thing that you can do. And I remember a couple of years ago, wasn't that long ago, because she was always doing things. I was driving up 163rd on my way to an event. I don't remember the event, But I saw her sitting at a bus stop, and I slammed on the brakes. I'm like, "Miss McKay, get in the car." We were going to the same place. And, you know, because she was very active. I don't know how she kept that schedule, to be honest with you. Madam Borough President, you mentioned the community board. That's a very hectic schedule. But she was at every meeting, every Lincoln Hospital thing, and she was still holding us to account. And I should add that just because she liked me didn't mean that she wasn't going to tell me what I needed to be doing and what Dad needed to be doing or what we needed to focus on. She said, we need these accessibility ramps in Patterson houses. This has been going on too long. We have seniors in this building who cannot get in and out. And because of that, they are staying in their apartments and getting sicker. Or she'll call me and say, listen, we have no power and people have diabetes medication in refrigerators and it's going bad. We need your help. And I'm just so grateful that she did that because that's our job. But we don't know that without people who have boots on the ground. And she was that person. So again, with all due respect to the family, friends, and loved ones, my sincere condolences, but I have to say that I stand here with a heart full of love and gratitude because of the impact that Ms. McKay had on all of us. And it doesn't end here. None of this ever ends. This is something that will continue, and I will instill it in my son who's 18 and my daughter who's 12, and we will talk about Ms. McKay. And we're going to talk about what she taught me and what she did for their grandfather. And this will never end. And I am also grateful, as the borough president said, that you gave her to us as much as you did, because we probably felt like we had her more than all of you did. But with that, I offer condolences and gratitude for the legacy for Ms. McKay, and may she rest in peace.